All right, should be good to go. Welcome everybody to Gen Chem 1. My name is Dr. Casey Andrews, and I will be your instructor for the semester. So basically, what we're going to do for today is I'm going to run through the syllabus. I'm going to run through the class and just give you an idea of like what we're doing on a day-to-day basis, and also how to use these Zoom meetings and what these Zoom meetings are for. But before I do that, we have an SI this semester who will be providing assistance for this class. So I'm going to unmute her. So let me just find her on the list. There we go. Easy to do that. And she has a presentation to give. So let me allow her to share screen. So that should be good to go. All right, Sarah, see if you can share screen and all that good stuff.
Okay, can everyone see my screen?
Yeah, looks good to me.
Okay, cool. Hello everyone, my name is Sarah. I will be talking about online SI sessions that will be offered throughout this course during the semester. Let me see if I can. Okay, so something I want y'all guys to kind of keep in mind is do something for yourself today that your future self will thank you for. And by that, I mean coming to SI sessions. So hello, my name is Sarah. I am a sophomore with a biology major and mathematics minor. I love Adventure Time, as you can see, and I also like Criminal Minds. My mission is basically to guide students in developing transferable study techniques and encouraging independent thinking that fosters new perspectives. I'm very good in the math portions of general chemistry, and I can comprehend the concepts taught throughout the course and apply them to certain situations. So next. So what is SI? SI is basically a program offered to students as a tool to succeed in difficult courses such as this one. And this course will have its challenges. As your SI leader, I will be holding sessions where you will engage with the course material through collaborative activities and make connections with your peers. So this is kind of my contact information, my email, and then I will be sending out a survey for all of you to fill out so I can make like a, I guess, definite schedule for our sessions, times, and days. And I have my office hours on Mondays and Wednesdays from 11 to 12. And if that doesn't really fit in your schedule, you can email me so you can make an appointment. And I believe that sums up everything. I can't wait to help you guys through this semester. And Dr. Andrews, you can take it away.
All right, great. Thank you very much. So I will just say a couple other things about that. This class can get very math intensive, a lot of algebra on it. So definitely see Sarah if we talk about something and you're not quite sure how to get it. And also as an incentive to CRSI, so she doesn't just sit in a Zoom meeting by herself. What I will be willing to do is that if you go and see her, you will get extra credit. This will be limited in that if you see her like 100 times, I'm not going to give you like 100 points of extra credit, but you will get some for going multiple times. So make sure you take advantage of that. All right, great. So just a few announcements first, just some things to go over, and then we're going to hop right into the syllabus. So some things about these Zoom meetings themselves. So just right out in front, these Zoom meetings are optional. What we're going to do in these Zoom meetings is we're going to go over the class material. You're going to have a chance to interact with me interact with your fellow students. However, this is technically an asynchronous class, so everything will be recorded. Everything will be posted online. So if you cannot make it, you will not be penalized. However, if you feel like you learn better in a live environment, or you just need a time where you have to force yourself to study, we'll be here every Monday, Wednesday, Friday at 10 a.m. Security reasons, I'm gonna force everybody to mute themselves, and I'm not gonna allow you to unmute without asking me first. The reason for that is I don't put a password on my Zoom meetings. Otherwise, I have to create a new Zoom meeting every single time or something like that. So it is possible for anyone to pop into the Zoom meeting. And so to prevent any distractions, I am not going to allow people to unmute. If you want to have a question, you can either put it in chat. And if you want to have a question and you're like embarrassed letting everyone know your question, what you can do is in your chat window, you can just send me a private message. Only I can see it. I'll read it out loud, but not say your name, so you can remain anonymous, but people can have the question. Or if you're more comfortable talking, what you can do is you can let me know by Zoom and I can unmute you and you can ask your question that way. Looks like we do have a question. So you have to leave at 10:30 because you have another class. That's fine. Because like I said, all these are recorded. They're posted on YouTube. And then I'm going to post these on Blackboard for you to look at. And we'll go over that when we go over the Blackboard site. But first, what I'm going to do is we're going to go over the syllabus. And if you have questions at any time, please just, put it in chat, let me know, and I will read those when I see those. All right, so I need to update this number because this is not 600. This is either 601 or 602. So the best way to contact me, and let me get my pointer out so you can better see what's going on here. Pointer. Have to relearn how to use Zoom. There it is, Spotlight. So the best way to contact me is my email, candrews@tamusa.edu. If you look me up online, you'll also see that my email is casey.andrews@tamusa.edu. I don't know why we get two emails. They all go to the same place, so either one will get to me. If you email me, I'll do my best to respond in a timely fashion. If you email me in the evenings, I might not get back to you until the next day. So just be aware of that, especially if you email me past like 8 p.m. I am probably not going to be looking at my email until I wake up. So you should expect a reply at like 7 or 8 a.m. the next day. If you email me on the weekends, I might again be a little later to respond just because it's weekend, but I will be checking my email periodically on the weekend and trying to respond to you as soon as possible. So again, don't hesitate. If for some chance you email me and I do not respond for 24 hours, feel free to send me another email. It could have been that I didn't receive it, or I read it and just slipped my mind to reply, or I wrote a message, got distracted, didn't hit the send button, and it's just sitting there in my drafts. So if I don't respond to you, keep bugging me and I will get to you. Office hours are posted here, but feel free to contact me to set up a meeting like at any time. The only times this semester where I have like dedicated time set aside is right now, 10 to 11, Monday, Wednesday, Fridays, 2 to 3, Monday, Wednesday, Fridays, and Tuesday, Thursday, 12:30 to 1:45. Otherwise, I am, for the most part, open. So if you want to have a meeting with me, online Zoom meeting, just email me, suggest a time and a date. And if the time's no good, I will suggest another one. But usually you'll be, okay, we can meet at that time. And I'll send you a Zoom link and we'll be good to go. My office, I will not be there this semester, so do not go by the science building because I will be working from home like everybody else. All right, our textbook is TRO, so Chemistry and Molecular Approach, TRO 5th edition. I need to change that because this is not including your registration. We have changed that since last semester, so I need to update this. And the same with the homework. I might have the, let me just check here if I have the right syllabus because I thought I did change that. One sec, everybody. I might be looking at the fall syllabus. All right, so I will have to update that. So that is my mistake because we did change that, and I'll go over that on the Blackboard. But the homework, and I made an announcement about that, but the homework and the textbook are no longer including your registration. This was a change to hopefully allow you to find cheaper textbooks. But we'll go over that when we look at the Blackboard site. Yeah, I think what happened for the syllabus, since there is updated version, what could have happened is I put it correctly on the website, and then I just opened up an old version on my computer. So I will double check that the one on the website is 100% accurate because, yeah, I remember deleting those lines, but I could have saved it in some other different place. So let me just make sure I'm gonna jump down here. Yeah, what I'm gonna do is let me go and open it for the Blackboard site because the test dates were wrong. First day, everybody, good times. Already making a great first impression opening the wrong syllabus. There we go. That's the correct syllabus. And then we get the Word document. Aha. As you see, even I make mistakes. So don't be afraid to make mistakes in this class. All right, so not included. Calculators, you will need a calculator in this course. Your computer cannot serve as a calculator for the test. Make sure you get a calculator. You don't need a fancy graphing calculator, so do not feel the need to go and buy a $200 calculator. What you need is a calculator that can do logs and natural logs, like a TI-30. They are relatively cheap. So if you are concerned if you are looking at the right calculator or your calculator is good enough for this class, well, what you can do is just look on your calculator. Do you see a button that says LN? Do you see a button that says log? Your calculator is good. Not sure where to find those? Want me to take a look? Just snap me a picture, send it to my email, and I will tell you, yeah, that's good or not. If you do have a graphing calculator, that also works, but it's not needed. What about TI-36? I do not know every single calculator on the top of my head, unfortunately. It probably is fine. So you can just look for those buttons or send me a photo and I can tell you. All right, so this is our first semester of a 2-semester class for Gen Chem 1. Very math intensive. So just a heads up, we are going to do a lot of math in this class. If you are not great at math, we are going to try and work through the problems together to get you up to speed. But just so you're aware, there's going to be a fair amount of algebra on this. It's going to be a few weeks from now, but we'll get there. Learning objectives, you can look at these at your leisure. I don't think it's very valuable for us to spend time to talk over something that you can read on your own. Some things I do want to get to, though. Course communication, we just talked about that. Email me, candrews@tamusa.edu. Conduct and behavior. So even though we're doing virtual meetups, treat it like an actual class setting. Be respectful. Don't spam the chat. If you are spamming the chat or saying like very derogatory or hateful things in the chat, I will mute you and or kick you from our Zoom meetings. So haven't had a problem with that yet. And I don't expect to have a problem since we're all, college students, but just be aware of that. Be aware that people can see your messages. Grading. Here's the important stuff that you've come to see. There's going to be 4 exams plus a final. Each exam is 15% of your grade. And in previous semesters, I've always liked to leave this up to suspense, but I'm going to drop your lowest grade. So when you bomb a test, if you bomb a test, don't worry too much because we will drop your lowest test grade. You start bombing 2 or 3, then you might want to go see Sarah or myself for help at that point. But just be aware, you do get one mistake on your exam, and I'll be dropping your lowest exam grade. Homework. After every in-class session that's not a test or today, I will assign homework on mastering chemistry. I will talk about that when we get to our Blackboard site. But that is 5% of your grade. Watching videos and doing the quizzes associated with those videos. Again, I'll show you what I mean by that on Blackboard, but another 5% of your grade. For these quizzes, you get 50% for just doing it on time. So don't stress about getting the exact right answer every single time. I just want you to try, because this is all before coming to class. We're going to have you watch videos that go over the class material and have a quiz on that to make sure you watch the videos. This is going to be one of the first times you see this material. I don't expect you to master it. So it's okay if you get stuff wrong. I do expect you to put in an effort to try and watch these videos. So 50% for just doing it, then 50% for correct answers. Reading guides. So again, we'll look at this on Blackboard, but a reading guide is to go along with the videos. So to make sure you're paying attention to the videos, we're not only doing the quizzes, but we're doing what I'm calling reading guides, where you need to fill in information, fill in questions that go along with the quizzes. Now I have these documents up on Blackboard, and a question I always get, so I'll answer it right now, is I don't care if you type out these reading guides or if you print it out and write it. Either way, as long as I get the reading guides, I'm good. As like the quizzes, I don't care about correctness at this point. I care about correctness when we get to the exams, but the reading guides, again, I want to see that you're putting in an effort. I want to see that you're watching the videos and you're trying to understand it. So when I look at these reading guides, I'm grading on completeness. I'm not going to grade for correctness. I'm going to see that you tried to make an effort. Now, if on your reading guides, you put like a smiley face for your answers and you turn that in, of course, I'm not going to give you credit for that. But if you are trying and you're writing down thoughtful answers that, seem to be somewhat correct, you're going to get 100% every single time. So homework, quizzes, reading guides, all that put together is one exam. So just for being a student, just for coming in every day and trying, you're going to get 15% of your grade. So when you ask me for extra credit somewhere down the semester, this is kind of your extra credit built in already. I'm giving you this cushion of 15% just from showing up and doing your work. Lastly, final exam. It's a biggie, 25%, a quarter of your grade. I don't know when the final exam is yet. I'll let you know. And it is cumulative. Everything we learn in the semester will be on the final grade. Individual exams are not, but material we learn on day one is going to be used in future material. Chemistry is a discipline that built on itself. So if you do not understand something in week one, you are not going to understand something in week 5, right? So make sure we're keeping up. Make sure we are staying with studying every day if we can. Because you miss something in the past, you're not going to get something in the future. And your grades, Texas A&M San Antonio does not believe in minuses and pluses. We only believe in letter grades for some reason. So grade distribution is shown there. Before I move on, is there any questions about like the grading percentages or anything I've said before or anything like that? All right. And as always, if you do have questions, feel free to just shoot them in chat. I see a big, once you put in a chat, I see a big orange glowing box. So I will be able to answer it. Exams. I already have the exams date tentatively scheduled. Therefore, I generally don't allow you to take the exam after it's already been given. If you know you cannot make it that day for whatever reason, I will allow you to take it earlier if you want. That's no problem. But once the exam is out there, I generally don't allow people to do makeup exams. That being said, the way we're doing it this semester, because we're online, is when I give an exam, you have 24 hours to take it. For an example, let's say we had an exam on Friday for some reason, on the 22nd. What you will see on Blackboard is that at 12 a.m. on the 22nd, exam 1 would open. Then you have until 11:59 p.m. to take that exam, right? So you have a 24-hour block on that exam day to take the exam when you want. So totally up to you when you take it, but you have to take it that day. Can you answer the question of the reading guide from the chem book? Yeah, you should be able to fill out the reading guide using the chemistry book. So if you're more comfortable reading from a book than listening to me narrate, that's fine too. It's from the same sources, so everything should line up. All right, homework, mastering chemistry. Just talked about that, where I talked about that previously, where any day we don't have an exam, I will assign homework. The way I'm going to do it is when I assign homework, you have 1 week to do it. So on the 22nd, when we meet again, I will assign a homework assignment that will be due 1 week on the 29th. And it's going to be moving like that. So next week, Monday, when we have a class period, you're going to have a homework due 7 days after that, so on and so forth. Therefore, if you miss a homework assignment, I'm not really going to allow you to make it up because you have 7 days to fit it into your schedule. So let's say for the homework assignment that I'm going to assign on the 22nd, and Thursday comes up and you were planning on doing it like Thursday at 10 p.m. for some reason, because you're like, I have 1 day, I'm going to do it. Then for some reason, oops, some massive thing happens on Thursday night, I can no longer do my homework because an emergency happened. Generally, when you email me and say, this emergency happened, can I have an extension? My answer is going to be probably not, because I gave you 7 days to do it. So try not to wait until the last possible day to do it in case that emergency pops up. I give you flexibility, but since it's such a long window, I'm not going to be much more flexible once that window closes. All right, videos and quizzes. Like I said, I'm actually going to talk about that when we go to the Blackboard site, as in the reading guides as well, so you can see where that's at. Here's our tentative exam schedule. So our first one is the 19th, then March 15th, April 5th, and April 28th. I do have the right to move these exam dates. If I have to move an exam date for whatever reason, I will give you at least a week's notice about that. Usually I am pretty good about that. So I have not had to move an exam date once, but I do reserve the right to do that. Financial aid. So the way I'm going to know you're attending this class is by turning in the reading guides in the quizzes. Because after 1 week, I have to tell the university who's coming to class and who's not. So if you don't do a reading guide and you don't do a quiz, I don't actually know you're here. And so I will tell the university you're absent. You're not part of this class. So make sure you do those Blackboard assignments. Disabilities. So if you need extra time on a test due to disabilities, I cannot provide that to you. I do not have any say in that. What you need to do is contact DSS, Disability Support Services. The phone number is given here in their email as well. Academic dishonesty. So for this class, the way I see cheating the most, and it's super obvious, is if I ask a question and people Google it and then copy and paste the answer, right? It's 100% obvious when you do that. So one of the reasons is a lot of the times people don't change their fonts. So it'll be like 10-point font, 10-point font, 18-point font is now yellow and underlined, 10-point font, 10-point font. Or you're using words that I have not taught you and talking about concepts on the PhD level for like a simple Gen Chem problem. So if you Google something and copy and paste it, 99% of the time I can easily figure it out by just looking at the sentence because I have a good understanding how students write. So don't try to outsmart me on that. It's not going to work. And I am obliged to report any occurrences of academic dishonesty. So don't Google copy and paste stuff, right? It's okay to Google information that you're not sure of. It's not okay to take someone else's words, turn it in as your own. That's called plagiarism. And I do not like that. And I will definitely give you a 0 for whatever assignment that comes from. So make sure to use your own words, take it in, and try to verbalize it in how you would normally verbalize it. Veterans, all questions or anything to do with Veterans Affairs, please see the Office of Military Affairs with their email and phone number given here. 6-drop rule, you get 6 drops before it starts to affect you. So that's there. Jaguar Writing Center, we're not going to do like actual writing this semester, but the Writing Center is great. I love it. So if you do have to do any writing, please see them and they will help you. Academic Learning Center is another way to get tutoring. So there's a lot of resources out there for you. And me, Sarah, will also help you do tutoring as well. Counseling. As a student at college, you get free counseling here provided by the university. Feel free to call them. If it's an emergency, we do have a 24 hours, 365-day hotline for you to call as well. So do not hesitate to use those. COVID-19, since we are in the midst of the pandemic still, and now super COVID is here from Britain, the strand of COVID that's way more contagious and can infect people again. I just heard that report on the radio yesterday. In Brazil, they're just seeing people affected again by this different strain. So we're not meeting in person, but if you do have to go to in-person meetings, make sure you have your mask on. Make sure you have social distancing as well. If you're feeling sick at all, do not come to campus. Even though the vaccine is slowly getting out there, it's going to be a long time, maybe not till the fall, until we have 70 to 80% of the people vaccinated. So be vigilant. We don't want the university to come to a screeching halt due to COVID cases. So just make sure you're smart, washing your hands and all that stuff. Make sure you do your check-ins. And do remember that even if you don't feel sick, you might still have the virus and can transmit it. So always be vigilant about that. Key dates. Yesterday was the first day of class, as I'm sure you're aware. March 26th is the last day to drop with the W. We do not have spring break this semester. I know, I'm sad too. Spring break is the time to really decompress. Spring break was last week, lovely January. So hope you enjoyed all the January weather on your spring break. So none of that. April 30th, last day to drop the class. May 3rd and 4th are what are called reading dates, as in they allow you to prepare for the final exam. And we do not know the final exam date yet. All right, that is the syllabus. Before I move on to Blackboard side, is there any questions about the syllabus? All right. If you are typing on a question, please continue to do so. Otherwise, I'm going to switch my sharing to our web page. There we go. All right. Blackboard, all the good stuff. Let me go to course content. All right. I'm going to show you how to navigate our Blackboard site. What I'm in right now is course content. So before class, and usually the day before, you will want to visit the course content site. And let me just move to these dated folders. For every day that we have a meeting in class, I have a folder for that meeting. So for Friday, I have a folder called Due Friday, Jan 22nd. In there, you will see a bunch of videos. These videos cover what we're talking about on that day. I also have the PowerPoints for these videos. So if you like to watch videos and take notes on the PowerPoint, they are there for you too. Once you are done watching these videos, you need to take the quiz. The quiz will cover what was gone over in the videos, and you should have 2 attempts to get the quiz right. So you have 2 attempts on the questions. These quizzes are due at 10 a.m. on the date of the folder. So at 10 a.m., Friday, January 22nd, you need to have this quiz done. Not 10:05 a.m., but by 10 a.m. While watching these videos, I suggest you download this reading guide, because this reading guide will have questions that can be answered through the video or your textbook. Once you have the reading guide finished, you go to Turnitin. So you will have a Turnitin link. That's what this little symbol is. And for every reading guide, I have a Turnitin link. You need to put it in there by 10 a.m. on the date of the folder. Not 10:05, not 10:30, 10 a.m. When you do turn it in, you should get an email confirmation saying that it's been turned in. Make sure you get that confirmation, because there's been many times last semester where I got emails from students saying, I thought I turned it in. Apparently it didn't go through. So if you are ever curious if your turned it in assignment went through, feel free to email me before I grade, and I can see if the assignment is in there or not. So don't hesitate to ask me if you're curious if it went through or not. So that's going to be your daily, one of the ways to study daily. And let me just lay out the logic for this. The idea is you're going to be seeing the material we go over multiple times, because the way to learn is really repetition, right? So you're going to watch these videos, then you're going to get the information for the first time. You're going to watch the class recording or be in the live session. You're going to get the material a second time. Then you're going to go to the homework. You're going to get the material a third time. By this repetition, what you're doing is that you're strengthening your brains. You're strengthening the neurons in your brain to make those connections and have that information stick. So when you go back to study for the test, hopefully, those neurons will be somewhat strong and you won't have to relearn everything from scratch. And let me just say, for science classes like this, you do need to put in a good amount of effort every single week. If you are in the mindset of cramming for an exam, you will not do well in this class, most likely. You need to spread out your studying over the weeks before the exam and use the time right before the exam as review. Otherwise, you will not get this material because it is dense. To help you spread out that's why I have these reading guides, these quizzes as an incentive to study daily. Because that's the only way to do well in this class is put in the time and spread that time out over weeks. But is there any questions about what these folders mean or what is due from you on a daily basis? Okay. If not, I'm going to go back to course content. If you do have a question, continue to type. All right. So what else is in this course content? Don't worry about these blank folders. They're for me. You can't see them anyways. But in class test 1. All right. So what's in class test 1? If we click on that, you'll see I have a file called Gen 22nd Lecture. These folders, like in class test 1, will contain the material we're going to go over in class together. So I already have the Jan 22nd material on there. What these lectures are, they're like a condensed form of the video where I hammer home the important points again. There's also practice problems we'll go over together as a class. And I'll give you time in the lecture to try and figure those out. So we're going to do problem solving together as a class. And when you go to study for the exam, this folder will be your first and most important tool, not your only tool, but your most important tool for studying. Because when I make the exam, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back to these lecture slides and I'm going to look at the problems we did in class and renumber stuff, like ask the question again, but with different numbers or with different elements. So if you understand how to do the problems in class, you understand them well, you will do very well on the exams. If you do not know what we're doing in class when we do them, and you don't ask questions or seek help, you are going to do very poorly on the exam. So just so you're aware, that's how I make my exams. That's how I'm going to ask the questions. If you like a baseball analogy, what I'm going to do is I'm going to tell you I'm going to throw a fastball, and then I'm going to throw a fastball and see if you can hit it. There's going to be no curves, no trickery from me. I'm going to tell you what's on the exam, then see if you can do the problems. How long are the videos on average? 5-ish minutes each. So, for Friday, you're looking at like 20-ish minutes of investment. The homework is from the book. So the homework is by the same company, right? But it is separate from the book. And we'll talk about that when we get to that. But they're technically a separate program from the book. It's called Mastering Chemistry. So it's not from the book directly, but they're connected. All right, so that's the in-class folder. You want to go there before every lecture to get that material. What else is under course content that helps you? Periodic table, you're going to want to have that, download that at some point. old test blank and old test with answers. So when studying for the test, I have tests from previous years when we were in person. I have tests that are blank, and I have those same tests, but with answers filled in. So make sure when studying, try these old tests. Try with the blank without the answers. Don't just try to memorize the answers or you won't get it. But that's a good way to test yourself as well before the actual test date. The online lab, I do not run the online labs, unfortunately, so I am not sure about that. What for the Gen Chem labs, you're going to want to contact your professor who runs the lab to get information by that, because I have not. Last time I ran the labs was in spring of last year, and so we might have changed from then. So unfortunately, I'm not sure how we're doing it this semester. All right, so that's going to be your course content. For every single test, I will have a different folder. So you'll see an in-class test 1, test 2, test 3, test 4. And you'll also see a corresponding folder that will have answer keys for everything we do in class. So on Friday, I'll make another folder that says in-class test 1 with answers, for an example. But are there any questions about the course content, what we're looking for there, or what's expected from you on a day-to-day basis? The book is the next thing I will cover, yes. We will go to the book right after course content. All right, and so let's do that. All right, how to access your book. It is not obvious where this is found, so make sure you're paying attention. On the left-hand side, you see this thing called Tools. You want to click on that. From Tools, you might have a lot of stuff. The only thing you care about in this class is this green box that says Pearson, My Lab in Mastering. You want to click on that. This is how you access your textbook and how you access the homework assignment. So Pearson eText, that will be your textbook. And when you click on that, if you have not bought a textbook yet, it should bring you to like a purchasing page, I believe. Mine's set up differently because I already have the textbook, so I don't see that page. But that is how you link a textbook to this course. You have to go to Tools, go to Pearson's My Lab in Mastering. And once you click on a link there, that's how you're going to get access. So the ebook, you can get the ebook, or if you like a actual book, you can buy the actual book and you don't need to buy the ebook. If you have an actual book, that's fine. What you do need to get, and you can get it at the bookstore. I believe the bookstore has codes, or you can get it online, is Mastering Chemistry. So when you go online, you'll see that it's called, there's a lot of different purchasing options for you. So you have like Mastering Chemistry and Modified Mastering Chemistry. And I was looking at the differences, and honestly, I don't think that there are differences from the student's point of view, just from the instructor's point of view. So I would say get the modified because it's the same price, but I don't think it'll make a difference from you. It should be the same thing. You can get the Mastering Chemistry bundled with the book, the ebook, or you can get it separately. With the ebook, it's like 120. Separately, it's like 70 or 60, something like that. So homework. When I assign homework, you're going to find it in Mastering Assignments. And your Mastering Assignments will look different than mine, but I'll just click on it. And there are some like practice. You can even see my block there. right now there are no assignments that are actually due. I will change these. These primers and introductions aren't actually due for this class, but you will see assignments there that you need to do. That will be due, periodically throughout the semester. And there are other stuff that's useful, like Mastering Chemistry does have like demos and videos of their own for you to watch. So if you're not quite getting the material, feel free to look at Mastering Chemistry for that section as well. And they also have extra material to help you. Yeah, the primers are not due. You can ignore them. I'm going to be deleting them soon. Will we have access to all the Pearson stuff if we purchase a book at the bookstore? I think if you just get the book, it might not have mastering with it. I do not know 100% off the top of my head, but my understanding was they were two separate items. You might want to ask the bookstore about that, because this is all new for me as well. Previously, the way it was done is that the ebook would already be loaded for you and they would just take it out of your tuition. So they would take $60 out as a course fee and you would have the ebook and the mastering assignments ready to go. They no longer do that because they want to give students options to buy it. So they have it at the bookstore. The thing is, my understanding was they were two separate things. So if you buy the book at the bookstore, you might want to see if the book says mastering code included. But I know they do just sell the mastering code. I don't know that off the top of my head, and I can ask around and get a better answer to that. I can ask the people at the bookstore about that. Okay, that would be great. All right. Any other questions about our Pearson? And let me just say, as in the announcement, you should not have to put in a course ID. The course ID is if we did not have integrated Blackboard use, but the peers we do have integrated. That is, all the Mastering Chemistry is through Blackboard. So you don't need to access it through the Pearson website. There's actually nothing that exists on the Pearson website for my class. It's all through Blackboard. All right, there's one more thing I want to talk about, then I'll let you go. It's grades. So grades are going to be super simple for you. And sorry if your name appears, but that's the curse of being alphabetically starting with the A. All right. So the only column you really need to care about is grade in class. This will show you your percentage in real time. So every time you do an assignment, I'm going to update your grades in here. And I've set up Blackboard in such a way that you'll see your percentage at any given time in the class through grade in class. You can see there's a bunch of reading guides already and a bunch of quizzes. Don't worry about what these grades are. They aren't actually used by me. For every single reading guide and a quiz, I will make a new column, and that's what will count. So if 2 months from now, your grade's not that great and you email me saying I turned in a bunch of reading guides, but you never graded them, just be aware. I actually don't use these columns, and I will probably hide them from you as we move on in the semester. One final thing, no, I will not be giving extra credit other than what I said about the SI session. So if your grade's not great, again, don't ask me for opportunities. They are very rare and I don't do them. Other than that, I think that covers all of the Blackboard site. One final thing before I let you go, and if you have any questions, feel free to type them out. I know many of you are probably not looking forward to this class. I know probably just about all of you don't want to be a chemist in any way, and you're doing this because your major said so. And you probably heard this class can be hard, and you probably have an anxiety with that. So for the anxiety part, that is why I'm trying to lay out this class the way it is, to make you see this information multiple times. I will be here to answer any questions. If you study and you keep it up like on a daily basis, and I do mean daily, you should do okay. If you continue to practice these problems on a daily basis, you will get them. Even if you don't think your math skills are good, you can learn anything by repetition. Like, I wasn't born just some math whiz, right? I put in many long hours at the library, many weekends in my college career where I was holed up in the library studying, practicing. It's a skill. You're seeing the finished product right now. If you saw me as a freshman, I got like a B- in Gen Chem 1. So I wasn't some kind of ace or anything. So practice. If you are dreading chemistry itself, keep in mind the goal of college is to teach you how to become a learner. If you leave college and we taught you how to take in new information by yourself and how to assimilate and learn that information, our job is done. I don't care in like 10 years from now if you know how to do an acid-base reaction. If you know how to find that information on yourself and learn it, my job's done, right? So always keep that in mind when you're struggling, when it's hurting, that you are making your brain stronger. You are learning how to learn. And always keep in mind, you are not alone, even though we are separated by computers, even though you don't have any classmates around you. Everybody is going through this with you. I have 80 students in this class, right? So you're not alone, and I am always there to help you. If you have any questions whatsoever, never hesitate to ask. The old adage is there's no dumb questions. If you never had a question about anything we went over, I would ask you, why are you here? You already know everything, right? The way you learn is by asking questions, by making mistakes and learning from those mistakes. So I know it is embarrassing to ask questions if you're not used to it. The only way to get over that embarrassment is to ask questions and just get used to it. It's one of those tough things. The lecture times, Monday, Wednesday, Friday, 10 to 11 a.m. or 10 to 10:50 actually. But they are not mandatory. I will post them online. Otherwise, I look forward to this semester. I hope everybody has a good semester themselves. Keep safe, and hopefully I will see people on Friday. Otherwise, I have nothing left for you, and have a good one, everybody. Cheers.